I don't even know where to start with this one. The Cleveland Browns just detonated the entire NFL conversation. We're not talking about another bad loss. We're not talking about the same old frustration that Browns fans have gotten used to for decades. No, this is different. This is nuclear. Because after that humiliating 41-17 beatdown at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens, what happened in the aftermath didn't just shake the locker room. It shook the entire league. And the center of it all? Rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Now let me paint this picture for you because it's wild. The game ends. Kevin Stefanski walks up to that podium and gives us the same tired coach speak we've heard a million times before. We need to execute better. We need to clean some things up. All the usual cliches you throw at the fan base when you got nothing left to say. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Shedeur isn't sitting quietly. He isn't just taking notes. No, this man fires up Instagram Live, and in less than 20 seconds, he blows the entire Browns organization sky high. His words? Razor sharp, direct, no filters. He looks into the camera and basically says, "This isn't on me. I was ready. Everyone knows I was ready. We lost because I wasn't out there, period." And just like that, in under half a minute, the NFL conversation changed. Social media caught fire instantly. Hashtags flying, fire Stefanski, justice for Shedeur. Browns fans who've been split for weeks on this quarterback carousel suddenly united around one demand: Sanders needs to be the guy. And Stefanski? His job might already be gone. Now here's the part that makes this so much bigger than just a frustrated rookie venting. People inside that building are saying this wasn't some spur-of-the-moment meltdown. This was calculated. Weeks of tension building up. Stefanski stubbornly rolling out Joe Flacco, who looks like he's throwing passes with a refrigerator strapped to his back. Then Dylan Gabriel, who was completely overwhelmed. All while Shedeur, the electric rookie, sits on the bench watching the offense collapse in historic fashion. He stayed professional, he stayed supportive, but after getting humiliated by the Ravens, the kid snapped. And honestly, can you blame him? Because let's be real, the numbers don't lie. Flacco was a disaster, barely completing half his passes, throwing 3 picks, one of them a pick 6, fumbling like he'd never seen a pass rush before. Then Gabriel comes in, and it's 3 and outs followed by a gift-wrapped interception straight to a Ravens linebacker. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson is out there putting on a masterclass, throwing darts, running wild, completely dismantling the Browns' defense like it was practice. And Shedeur's supposed to just stand there and clap politely? Nah, even the cameras told the story. You could see it on his face as the game wore on. That spark of excitement when he thought maybe he'd get a shot, turning into visible frustration every time Stefanski waved him back to the sideline. And then there was that moment after Flacco's 3rd pick when Shedeur went over to talk to the offensive coordinator, only for Stefanski to step in, shut it down, and send him away like some rookie water boy. That right there was the flashpoint. You could feel it building, and now it's not just fans who are done with Stefanski. The locker room? Divided. The offensive guys? They're with Shedeur. One veteran reportedly told a beat reporter, "Everybody knows Shedeur's the guy." We're getting embarrassed out there while he's holding a clipboard. That's on the coaches. And Shedeur just let the world know it. On the flip side, you've got some leaders who don't love a rookie challenging authority this early. And the defense? They're trying to stay out of it, but privately don't know the offense is sinking the ship. This locker room is fractured, and there's no patch big enough to fix it right now. And let's talk ownership. Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, furious. Not just about losing, but about why they're losing. Word is, he stormed into Stefanski's office after the game, demanding answers about why Shedeur hasn't been on the field. Sources said he was yelling so loud that staff in the hallway could hear every word. And when the owner himself starts losing patience, when he starts asking why the most talented quarterback on the roster hasn't seen the field while the team is imploding, that's when you know Stefanski is hanging on by a thread. And it's not just Cleveland. This thing is spilled everywhere. ESPN opened their Monday morning with this story. Stephen A. Smith straight up said Stefanski might have just coached his way out of a job. Former players are lining up behind Shedeur. Even Bernie Kosar, a Browns legend, went on local radio and said flat out, Shedeur gives this team the best chance to win, period. And if that's not enough, buckle up, because apparently even Roger Goodell got involved. Yeah, the commissioner. According to reports, Goodell personally reached out to Browns leadership, voicing concerns not just about the on-field disaster, but about the business side of it. Viewership, merch sales, the league's marketing machine. Basically, the NFL knows Shedeur Sanders isn't just a rookie, he's box office. And when the commissioner himself is nudging your team about who should be playing quarterback. That's unprecedented. This isn't just a quarterback controversy anymore. This is an organizational crisis. You've got a head coach losing the locker room, an owner furious, a fan base mobilizing protests outside team headquarters, and the league office breathing down your neck. Meanwhile, Shedeur, he just threw down the gauntlet. Either you put me on the field or I'll make sure the whole world knows why you're losing. And that, my friends, is the turning point. Because now the Browns can't hide from this. Tuesday's practice isn't just a practice, it's a powder keg. Do they finally give Sanders the first team reps? Do they dig in and ride with Stefanski's stubborn plan? Whatever happens next is not just going to define this season. It might define the entire future of the franchise. And here's the kicker. For Shedeur Sanders, this is either the gamble of a lifetime or the start of a reputation that could follow him for years. But one thing's for sure, he's not backing down. Let me just stop and tell you, the NFL rumor mill has gone absolutely nuclear. I mean, forget the usual trade chatter. Forget the harmless speculation you hear every offseason. This one feels different. It feels seismic. And at the very center of the explosion sits the Cleveland Browns, a front office in panic mode. And one name that's got the entire football world buzzing, Shedeur Sanders. Now imagine this. Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, sitting in his office late at night, probably surrounded by stacks of scouting reports, contracts, depth charts. And suddenly the whispers start. The kind of whispers that can end careers. The whispers that say, Shedeur Sanders might be headed straight for the Dallas Cowboys, and not just any Dallas move. We're talking Jerry Jones, the master showman, the man who treats the NFL like his personal stage. Jerry lurking in the shadows, holding a Texas-sized checkbook that could flip the entire league on his head. You can practically picture it, Jerry on the phone with Deion Sanders, smiling that slough grin of his, already cooking up the headlines before the ink's even dry. And let's be real, if there's one name that sells in the NFL, it's Sanders. That jersey alone prints money. That name carries legacy. And if Jerry Jones smells even the faintest whiff of a storyline that can light up TV ratings, he doesn't hesitate. He goes all in. But here's where the story gets downright Shakespearean. Because Andrew Berry, he's not just irritated, he's unraveling. He's in that dangerous zone of rage where you don't know if a man's about to flip his desk, torch the playbook, or storm out of the building altogether. The kind of anger where every move looks desperate. See, Cleveland drafted Shedeur. They paraded him as a future. They dangled the Sanders name like a shiny trophy in front of their fans. But when it came time to actually put him on the field, nothing. No meaningful snaps. No chance to prove himself. They treated him like a luxury sports car, parked in the garage, covered up, only rolled out once in a while just to check the mailbox down the street. That's the Browns in a nutshell, bragging about the horsepower they've got under the hood, but never actually taking it out on the open road. Fans aren't blind, they see it. They watch Sanders get buried under meaningless minutes, thrown out in garbage time when half the team was already thinking about dinner reservations. That's not development, that's sabotage. And then the second Dallas pokes its head in, suddenly Shedeur Sanders is untouchable. Suddenly he's the future of the franchise. Oh, really? Where was that energy when he was clapping on the sidelines while Joe Flacco hobbled around like it was 2015? Where was that urgency when Sanders was sitting in witness protection football, hidden away like the Browns were afraid of him shining too bright? Let's call it like it is. Andrew Berry has been treating Shedeur like some rare Pokemon card shoved in a shoebox. And now Jerry Jones is the collector ready to drop a record-breaking bid. And if this thing actually happens, if Shedeur Sanders walks out of that tunnel at AT&T Stadium with the star on his helmet, that's not just football. That's a cultural moment. Picture it. The lights dim. Primetime. National audience. The Sanders name booming over the loudspeaker as Shedeur runs out, dripping in silver and blue. That's legacy reborn. That's the kind of moment you don't just watch. You remember. And meanwhile, Cleveland sits at home with the lights off, realizing they fumbled yet another quarterback, adding another painful chapter to their cursed history. And don't get it twisted, this wouldn't just be a loss of a player, this would be the loss of credibility. If Dallas swoops in and turns Shedeur into a star, it's proof of everything Browns fans have been screaming for years. Proof that this franchise has no idea what it's doing with quarterbacks. Proof that all their so-called development plans were nothing but smoke and mirrors. Think about the optics. Cleveland drafted Sanders like he was going to be their savior, and then buried him so deep he barely looked real. They rolled him out in garbage time with linemen already polishing their LinkedIn profiles, guaranteeing he'd look average no matter what. And now, the moment the Cowboys show interest, suddenly Barry's blood pressure shoots through the roof. Suddenly the Browns act like Sanders is royalty. Please. Fans see right through it. And Jerry Jones is probably salivating right now. Because this is exactly the type of story he lives for. He doesn't just build football teams. He builds spectacles. He builds reality TV disguised as a football season. And is Sanders wearing the star? That's not a headline. That's a Netflix series waiting to happen. You can practically see it now. Shedeur Sanders getting his own confessional booth in the Cowboys locker room, talking straight to the camera while the drama unfolds around him. Jerry Jones smiling in the owner's box, counting jersey sales before halftime. ESPN producers crying tears of joy because the ratings just wrote themselves. Meanwhile, Andrew Berry, he's pacing the halls, muttering to himself, probably tossing Nerf footballs at interns who made the mistake of eye contact. Because deep down he knows this isn't just about losing a player. This is about exposure. If Shedeur leaves and becomes a star in Dallas, Barry's name will be remembered not for building a winner, but for letting greatness rot on the bench until someone else cashed in. And here's the part that stings the most. Shedeur Sanders doesn't even have to do a thing. He doesn't have to beg for snaps. He doesn't have to make noise. All he has to do is exist while Dallas stirs the pot and Cleveland sets itself on fire. He's the calm in the middle of the hurricane, sipping water while Barry's career burns to ash. The irony is brutal. The Browns, the franchise that has turned quarterback mismanagement into an Olympic sport, might actually hand Shedeur Sanders over to the Cowboys, the franchise that thrives on turning players into legends. One team smothers talent with politics. The other splashes it on billboards. So here's the real question. How much more of this can Sanders take? How much longer can he sit quietly, watching veterans on expired gas get chance after chance, while he's treated like a rookie who should just clap politely from the sidelines? At some point, Shedeur has to choose himself, because this isn't about ego anymore. This is about survival. And maybe that's the true test of this entire saga. Not whether Cleveland finally wakes up, not whether Jerry Jones makes a splash, but whether Shedeur Sanders finally stands up and says, enough. Enough of being the polite bystander in my own career. Enough of letting an organization bury me under excuses. It's time to step forward and take control of the story. And honestly, if that means leaving Cleveland behind, if that means embracing the chaos of Dallas or anywhere else that will treat him like the star he is, then so be it. Because the cruelest punchline of all would be this: Shedeur Sanders becoming the face of America's team while the Browns sit back in humiliation, realizing they've once again been exposed on the biggest stage possible. That's not just another bad season. That's Cleveland's nightmare wrapped in a star-shaped spotlight. So now I'm throwing this to you guys because I need to hear it. Do you want to see Shedeur stay in Cleveland and finally be unleashed? Or do you want to see him step into Jerry World and become the headline the NFL can't stop talking about? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and buckle up, because this saga is far from over.